All right, guys, today we have a very special guest on, one of our actual brides, our BTS brides, Hayley. Hayley, I'm going to have you introduce yourself to everyone listening and tell us a little bit about why you chose Scottsdale for your wedding destination.
Yeah. So, hi everyone, I am Hayley. I chose Scottsdale as my wedding spot because I met my fiance here. He had actually just moved to Scottsdale a month before I came out and visited, and we met on the golf course. So I thought it was a pretty easy decision.
Yes.
We currently live in Tampa, Florida, so it was either between Florida, Scottsdale, and I just thought this was a good fit for us.
I love it. And you just recently did some engagement photos, actually incorporating
Yes.
golf course into it, which was genius.
Yes.
I think so many times people do their engagement shoot and they're like, they do something so like standard, you know, because it's like that's all they see and that's all they know. But like you put some actual like significance into it, and you guys wait till you see these. They're so good.
Thank you.
How was that experience yesterday?
It was so fun. So we had Cam and Larissa, and they are amazing. They make you feel so comfortable. And yeah, my main thing is I'm like, you get on Pinterest and you see all of the same stuff, and you scroll through social media and everything looks the same. So my main thing I wanted the pictures, everything for the wedding. I just wanted to be unique and just something different. So
it's so exciting. So through this process so far, how would your friends and family describe you as a bride?
Okay, I was trying to think of this because I'm like, well, I don't know if they're talking behind my back and I don't know what they're saying, but I genuinely don't think I'm a bridezilla.
Right.
I will say in other aspects of my life, I just like to be in control of things. I'm extremely organized, a little bit too much. So the best thing I did was hire a wedding planner because, you know, you can kind of give it off to you guys. Yeah. And I think it's better when I'm not in control as much.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's that I'm not a bridezilla.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm pretty relaxed.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty relaxed. And
good.
Maybe more so, like my sister-in-law, she'll text me and she'll be like, okay, so what are the guys wearing? And I'm like, I don't know. What do you think? And she's kind of like helped me make some decisions. So I'm a little indecisive. I don't know if that's nerves or just...
You are, but you aren't.
Right.
You're really clear on things that are very important to you.
Right.
And that's the thing about wedding planning is that there's about, I don't know, 1,200 decisions you have to make.
Yeah.
And some of them are going to be important to you and some of them truly aren't.
Yeah.
And so the things that you've locked in on, you're locked in and you know exactly what you want. But then other things like, what do the guys want? I mean, what are they going to wear? They could wear probably 3 different colors and all would be great.
Right.
And like the vision would still be so cool.
Yeah.
So yeah. That
and
makes sense.
There's also an aspect, I don't want to tell people what they have to do. It's like if you're coming out, this is destination for everyone. So if you're going to make the time and pay to get a flight out here, you know, stay at the hotel or the resort, wherever they choose to stay, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
So on top of that, being like, oh, this is what you have to wear. You have to do this and that. I don't want to do that, you know?
You want it to feel like it's stuffy to get here, you know?
Right. I'm like, I want it to be laid back. For as far as the guest experience, I don't want them to be like, oh, we have to do this, and this on top of, you know, paying for everything. So, yeah.
That makes sense. It definitely does. So tell us about the proposal story.
Yeah.
So did you know it was coming? Kind of walk us through the day.
Okay. So I had a feeling it was coming. I didn't know exactly when though.
Yeah.
And we had been together for 9 months at the time. And we had talked about it. So, you know, I feel like 9 months you kind of know, or you're at least having the conversation. Yeah. So I was like, well, is it going to happen in another year from now? Is it going to happen tomorrow? Because we are in the Dominican with my family.
That's so exciting.
And we had talked about it before, and I said, I want my family there. So I was like, well, there's a time that we're all going to be together. Yeah, so we went out on the beach. It was like a beautiful sunset, and I think we both blacked out. So He was talking to me and I don't know what he was saying. It was really beautiful. It was so exciting.
That's so amazing. And so many people say that they have like this blackout moment. They're like, I don't really know what
Yeah.
happened. Like I all of a sudden realized what was happening and then I was like went blank.
Yeah.
So as soon as you came back to reality, what were like some of your first thoughts?
Yeah. We were just so excited because, we had talked about it and we knew we wanted to move forward with each other. So we were just so happy. And like after that, we were going to go get dinner and we're like, we don't even want to eat right now. It was awesome.
Yeah. That is really, really cool.
Yeah. And for me, it's not so much I was anxious. My emotions are kind of like when I'm excited, I'm anxious. When I'm down, I'm anxious. I'm just kind of an anxious person. Mm-hmm. So when I get really, really happy, it's like my heart's racing and it's a lot to take in.
You really feel it.
Yeah.
I'm like that too. I definitely understand.
Yeah.
So all your family was there.
Yes.
Who was the first person you called?
I FaceTimed my group chat of all my girls. Yes. So you can FaceTime a group.
The girlies.
Yeah. And they'll all be bridesmaids as well.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How special. And were they surprised or they knew it was kind of coming?
I think they were surprised, yeah. They probably knew it was coming as well just because, I had told them, like, I'm going to marry him. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they probably had an idea.
That's cool.
But he didn't tell them, so.
So he kept it pretty secret.
Yeah.
But did he tell your parents?
Yes. He asked my parents, yeah. So he actually asked my dad the day before he did it on the golf course.
He's like, hey, buddy,
by
the way.
Yeah, he waited until, like, the last hole, and my dad, like, shanked the ball right after he asked him, and they, like, joke about that now. But, yeah.
That's hilarious. So he had 2 back-to-back days of, like, nerves, like, of big questions to ask, basically.
And I could tell he was really nervous, too.
Poor guy. Yeah. So you said around the 9-month mark, you were kind of like, all right, so like, this is it. What's going on? Like, what's happening? Mm-hmm. What are some things that you think were really important in your relationship that have kept you guys strong and like gotten to the point that you're at? Like, what are some little relationship details?
Yeah, I would say being involved in the church, it has.
I love that.
So before I met Micah, I've always been spiritual, but I've never really had a connection like he has with the Lord and being in the church. So, and I knew I wanted it to happen authentically for me. I didn't want, I wasn't going to be like, okay, he's this way, so I need to be this way. And I would say growing in my faith alongside him, helping me lead the way. He's been amazing with it. There was never a point where he thought he should pressure me into it.
Yeah.
But the one thing that he's always said is he's like, God should be the center of your relationship because you always need something bigger than yourself to fall back on.
That's beautiful.
So that's
truly beautiful.
And it's made sense to me, and there's things where I thought, I would never do this, I would never do that, but everything is just working out and it's been amazing. So yeah, that would be a big thing and that he brought into my life, and it's just happened very naturally.
I think that's the most important thing that you could really ever ask for, you know? And then, like, I love that you said having something in the relationship that's bigger than you, because regardless what religion you are or what your faith is, having faith in something bigger than you is really, truly, like, the key to a lot of things. Like, let me just, like, get centered, get grounded, and, like, pray and figure this out, because the world will give you a lot of craziness. So it's good to have something out of this world that really kind of like puts you together. So
for sure.
That's special. That's really good. So that's good part. Relationships can have like these little kind of like bumpy things. What's something you've learned along the way in more of like the trial tribulation kind of area? Yeah.
So I think a big thing is, so we have lived together for a while now. And I think, you're in the honeymoon phase when you meet. Everything is rainbows and butterflies. And, I still think we're in the honeymoon phase in some aspects, but it's also real life. So you're going to have a bad day. He's going to be down. I'm going to be down. And you kind of have to maneuver that in a way that, I've seen where it's like, if I'm 90% and he's 10%, then I need to give to him, vice versa. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and I think you know, it's just navigating life together, and you know, not everything is perfect in life, and so that's going to reflect in your relationship. So you just have to have a strong foundation and have each other's backs.
Yeah. When you guys moved in together, were there any like funny or strange quirks that you guys noticed about each other?
Okay, so this may be a little long. I'll try to make it short.
No, it's okay. I love it.
So the plan was to not, we weren't really like, okay, we're going to move in together.
Mm-hmm.
So he had just moved to Scottsdale. He's from Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Kentucky. And so the only time for us to be together was traveling.
Wow.
And we didn't spend much time apart. Like, right when we met, we knew.
Mm-hmm.
And so he would travel to Louisville for 2 weeks, and then I would travel to Scottsdale. Mm-hmm. So it's like, what am I going to do? I mean, I could have gotten a hotel, but at the same time, it's like, we were just so in love to begin with. And so, yeah, then the first place we, like, got together would be when we moved to Tampa. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it's kind of all I've ever known is kind of just his quirks and stuff.
I love it.
And I understand that some people, you know, they're like, don't move in with somebody before you marry them. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But for me personally, I'm like, I feel like you don't really fully know somebody until you're living with them. And I need to test drive that before I commit. So I just, you know, we worked around things and it worked out.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like set date nights or like certain things that are like really special that you guys keep up?
Okay, so like a tradition. Yeah. So it's funny because I'm always like, we need to make like every Friday a date night. Yeah. But we're the type, we'll go out to like a fancy restaurant on a Tuesday, like in sweatshirts. It's, you know, I'm like, we need to make it to where, and I'll say that, I'm like, let's make sure we do this every Friday. And he's like, we do it every night. Yeah. So, you know, there's not anything. Okay. You gotta cut that. Definitely. Okay, where do we?
So you were saying like every night you guys do something kind of cool or cute.
Our lifestyle is amazing, and we're super blessed to be able to just have as much fun when we want, and
so lucky.
That's kind of what we do. Yeah,
that's amazing. You gotta like enjoy every part of like the freedom and like that, you know, that part of life.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I'm a very routine person, so I like my day to look the same every single day. Yeah. And I'm marrying an entrepreneur, so it's a lot different for him. You know, every day's different. He likes the thrill of things. I like, you know, to be more calm and grounding in my day-to-day. But we're a good mix, so yeah.
That's really good. So let's go back to some wedding details, okay? So we kind of started off with the, you know, why Scottsdale was the choice. When you had first initially started thinking about your wedding, were there any other like geographical locations you were thinking of, or was it pretty much just like, I know exactly what I want?
I was set on Scottsdale.
So cool.
I love it here. It's dry, but other than that, I have no complaints. I love it. And I know summers are hot. But yeah, I told him right away, and you know, we kind of talked like, well, maybe we can look at places in Florida, be on the beach, and I was like, it just doesn't make sense. We're gonna get married here.
Go there. What moved you guys to Florida?
So right before I met him, I was planning on moving to Tampa by myself.
Okay.
And then I met him out here in Scottsdale. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna live in Scottsdale. I'll do that. So I just knew I was pulled towards the weather. So I don't like the cold. I don't like the winters, the gloominess, and you get a lot of that in Kentucky. So I knew that I wanted to make the move for myself, no matter what. And then I presented the idea to him, and he is very much go with the flow.
I love that.
And he just wants to see me happy. And so we were laying in bed. It was like 1 a.m. and we were deciding between buying a house in Kentucky or moving to Tampa. And I said, we're moving to Tampa. Yeah. And then a week later, we went to go visit, and then we signed a lease. And
amazing.
And now we actually have a house in Kentucky as well. Okay. So we go between the two. We'll spend summers in Kentucky, and then we're basically snowbirds.
That's
so
we don't have, that's good. Yeah, so we need to get you out here too.
Well, now that we're out here this week, we're like, okay, maybe when our lease is up in Tampa, we come back here. Yes. And people, it's so funny. People are like, wait, what are you doing? Like, you're moving to Tampa, you're doing this. Like, it's so crazy. And I'm like, that's just kind of our lifestyle. Yeah. We just go with what we want to do, and we don't have anything holding us back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, when you can do it, you have to do it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to feel like where the right places are. So that makes sense for sure. So through the wedding planning journey so far, has there been anything that's like surprised you? Where you're like, oh, I thought this would be different, or anything like that?
I would just say, I mean, I thought, so we got engaged and we waited a while to plan a wedding. And my main concern, everyone's like, when are you getting married? When are you getting married? Mm-hmm. My concern was, oh my gosh, everyone talks about how brutal wedding planning is. Yeah. Everyone is stressed out. And I'm the type, I'm like, I'm not going to put stress on myself if I don't have to have stress.
Right.
So I told my parents, I said, we have to hire this wedding planner if we're doing it. I found you all on Instagram. I'm like, yes. And then I called you all and you said you had my date available. And I was just so excited. Yeah. And so since then, I thought that wedding planning was going to be something, and you know, I'm grateful that I don't have the stressors because of you all. So I know that's a privilege, but that's the one thing, you know, I thought I was going to be so stressed the whole time, and I haven't had any stress.
We make it fun. You know, we make it fun because the world is hard. Like, it's just difficult. And then when you go into this, my main goal always is when our brides look back on their wedding day, that they love that, and then they think about the planning process and they love that just as much. Instead of it being like, planning was terrible, because I feel like no matter what, if a bride has a great wedding day but she hated her planning experience, I feel like that's always going to be a you know what I mean? It's always going to creep up every time the wedding comes up. And so I'm like, we got to figure out a way to make this like just smooth sailing throughout. So yeah, that's good.
It's been so smooth. And I was texting Sierra a couple weeks ago. The first time I stressed, so our room block, we had some issues there. They were like, you're at 98% capacity. And it's like, what? And then I panic, and they're like, we can expand it. Okay. But honestly, other than that, Sierra has sent me, I'm like, okay, we need a photographer. She sends me a list of photographers, and then I just select. And then, okay, musicians, you know, we go down the list, and it's just been so easy. It's been fun.
It makes it so fun.
I know.
What's been your favorite part so far?
This week.
This week has been nice.
Yes.
Yeah. You've had a lot of like real life experiences that like make it feel real.
Yeah.
You know?
So, and it's been busy. It's Friday now. We got here on Tuesday. And I've done hair trial, makeup, spray tan, be bronzed in my spray tan. She came to the Biltmore. She's amazing. Brittany's amazing.
Did she say anything outlandish when she was there?
No.
Sometimes she's a hoot. I'm like,
I'm trying to think. I mean, so she's very entrepreneurial spirit. Yeah. So her and Micah, like, they just bonded. So, but she's amazing. My spray looks great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And so what else did I do? Well, we had our photo shoot at the Biltmore with Cam and Larissa. Just got those pictures. Yeah, cake tasting. Yeah. That was fun. And then menu tasting. That was the best part. And so
you've been hitting all the marks.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah. And my parents were in town for that. Yeah. So... And then we met.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, this week has been great. What about dress shopping?
Okay, this was extremely simple for me.
Nice.
So I found a dress on my Explore page, and it was an Australian dress. So I messaged the brand, and I'm like, do you have this in Florida? And they said, we have it in Tampa, and it was 5 minutes from where I live.
Wow.
And it's nowhere else around me. It just happened to be right there. I'm like, oh, well. So my mom and sister-in-law and my niece flew in, and we went to try it on. I think I tried on 3 other dresses before that, but, I mean, I found it in 30 minutes. And
the dress found you.
That's
so cool.
Yeah. And then, you know, you get your dress, and then you see all these other dresses, and but it's like, if you like a dress, there's no bad dress. So you could have a million dresses, but I also have a second look that I love.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
That's going to be so good. And so when I first bring up dress shopping, you're like, it was easy. You know, it was great. And that's kind of been like your vibe like throughout this. I want to kind of get into like your healthy mindset, like health and wellness and everything. So on Instagram, I think it was a couple months ago, you had really opened up about microdosing, right? Like psychedelics, I think that's right.
So I talk about ketamine infusions, and I also talk about the health aspects of mushrooms, microdosing, things like that. Yeah.
And I was so intrigued when you were
Mhm.
sharing it. I was like, one, so cool that you're sharing this
Mhm.
because a lot of people don't talk about it.
Right.
And it's a big deal,
Mhm.
you know, because there's a lot of new ways to get into a healthy lifestyle
Mhm.
that people kind of don't really, it's like taboo or like hush hush,
Very.
and they don't know about it, so they're scared, you know?
Especially in the Midwest.
Yeah.
There-
I can't imagine. I'm from Wisconsin, so I get
Yeah,
it. It's like,
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Huh? Like, you know, marijuana is not even legal in Wisconsin,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like, it's just crazy. So
Mhm.
tell me a little bit about your journey on how you started these practices and how they've really helped you.
Yeah. So I started an antidepressant when I was in college. And so I'm 29 now, I'm about to turn 30. And I was on medication for probably almost 10 years, SSRIs, anxiety medicine. And I tried I tried over 15 medications.
Wow.
And throughout the years, it more so just numbs you. This is my personal experience.
Yeah.
I know medicine works for some people. And it did work for me in some aspects, but I feel like I was a shell of who I really am while I was on the medication. And it got to a point where I was going to my psychiatrist every week, and she was trying a new med, and I was to the point where I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. Well, because it's not easy to switch, right? You have to
taper off of them,
scale back up.
Mhm.
Like, it's like a process every
Yes.
time. So 15 medications is a process.
It was my life.
Yeah.
I was constantly weaning off one medicine to try another. And at that point, it's like, and I just describe my brain as just gray. So it's like, I didn't really have a hold of myself. I didn't know what I was doing. I just felt so depressed all the time. And I came across ketamine infusions. It's classified as a psychedelic. It's classified as a dissociative anesthetic.
Okay.
So people are like, it's not a psychedelic. It is a psychedelic. There's characteristics of the psychedelics in ketamine. That's just a little, I'm not a doctor.
No, but you know what you know, like for this. Yeah.
So I did infusions, and after my very first one, it changed everything for me. And I was able to get off medication immediately, pretty much. It was within the month, and, you know, my parents were scared. They're like, no, you can't get off of it this quick. Like, you need to, and I just knew. I was like, I'm just going to stop. And I took Adderall for 10 years. I tried so many times to get off of it. I never could. And after my first infusion, I did 6 infusions, and I got off Adderall, and I never looked back.
That's amazing.
Same with nicotine, alcohol. I had these addictions, and once I did the infusions, I just never craved them anymore. So it completely changed my life in so many ways. Yeah, I wouldn't be where I am right now without the infusions. So
that's incredible. I have you heard of Alice mushrooms by chance?
I have. I've tried them actually. Yes.
Yeah, I had the owner of that on the podcast, or
Oh,
one
really?
of the co-founders on there.
Oh, cool.
And I learned so much. So Alice Mushrooms has really good marketing. Like, it's like as soon as you see something, you're like, oh, what is that?
It's very like fairy tale too.
Yeah. Like, what is okay?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, order. Like, okay, you know, obviously it's something pretty mild because it's just on Instagram.
Yeah, right. It's like, you can buy it online.
We're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I took it, and I was like, okay, I like this. Like, I don't know what it is, and I don't know a lot. And so I learned a lot more from her. And she was just saying how there's just so many natural ways to like help us all function as humans that are like just not talked about. And like no one's putting money into like researching and like really getting it out there. And it was around the same time that I started seeing the Alice Mushrooms ads as you had started talking about
really?
What you know, microdosing and how ketamine and things have just really changed your life. And I'm like, I have 3 kids. I own a business. My stress levels are through the roof.
Yeah.
And the older I get, I'm 40 now. So the older I get, the more wear and tear I feel, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, there's a better way.
It's
like,
a refresher.
There's a better way. Cause like I've like up until recently, I've kind of made myself believe that I'm just a lunatic. Like, it's just me, you know, it's got to just be me.
Oh,
but
that's
like,
such
really,
a mindset. That,
but like really, it's like you just need a little help because like life is heavy.
Yeah.
Like, life is heavy. You just need a little bit to get through.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's really cool. Have you noticed any like strange side effects or anything, like since you've been doing this?
I have not had any side effects.
Love that.
And so
I love that so much.
Yeah, it's been amazing. And there's very minimal side effects. So, you know, my mom was very concerned before any of this. She's like, oh, I don't want you to turn into a different person.
I bet.
And I did turn into a different person, but in the best
way possible.
And mushrooms are incredible too. And I think the big misconception that people have about mushrooms, you say something about mushrooms and they're like, they imagine, oh, you lose your sight. All you see is rainbows and like illusions.
You're tripping out.
Yeah, and that's just couldn't be further from the truth. Yeah, that can happen if you take a lot of mushrooms, but you can drink a lot of alcohol and you can black out and end up in the hospital. It's like, so a small dose of mushrooms just makes you feel like you have a grasp on life, and it makes you so grounded, and it's calm energy. Yeah, that it's like a natural Adderall in a way, I feel like. I've just had amazing experience, and you know, I know there's a lot out there that talks about having a bad trip, but a bad trip will teach you something, you know, and if you have a bad trip, there's something going on deeper that you need to address. Yeah.
I think you're totally right. And also one thing that you said, it's like a natural Adderall. I feel like weirdly, and it makes so much sense, and it's actually just like duh, but like you don't know until you know, like when your mind calms, you get clear.
You're like, oh my gosh,
oh, I can focus on this task.
Yeah,
wow, what a concept, you know. And I think that that's just something that is like so common sense, but yet we're so far as a society away from that, and it's crazy.
Practicing mushrooms is one of the oldest rituals in the entire world.
That is true. Know, it just became taboo.
Yeah, it became it did. And I'm like, how? Because once you experience it, you're like, this is how life should feel. You feel like a kid again. You know, it's like you have flashbacks to being a kid on the playground, and like that warm feeling you get at Christmas as a kid. That's how
the feelings.
Yes. And the best way I describe a mushroom experience is it shouldn't feel like you're on anything. You know, I think people are scared, like, you know, oh, it's gonna make me anxious, which it can. If you're anxious, if you're in an anxious state in life and you do them, it could enhance it. Yeah, that's true. But if you're feeling good, it can just make you think, oh, this is how I feel. You know, it's not gonna like hit you in the face. You know, it should be very gradual. It should be graceful.
I think it's so important, and the reason I talk about this on the show so often is just because through the wedding planning process, you have so many decisions you're making. You have so many unexpected encounters with family members and friends where it's just like, oh, I never thought so-and-so would have asked me that or talked like that, or, you know, like those kind of things. You have a lot of like pressures to be at this point or doing this thing, you know, and I feel like wedding planning can bring out like some heavy kind of emotions and feelings. And so I think it's so good to practice healthy mindset and healthy behaviors. I think it's obviously important at any point in time in life, but when you're adding a big stressor, it's even more important to like just take care of you, you know, and do things that make you feel okay and good and clear, you know. So I think that's pretty special. So when you are thinking about wedding day, what is one thing that is like really exciting or like that you can't wait to see or that you can't wait to experience?
Okay, so we just discovered this week of what we might do, and I think I want it to be a surprise, but it's something different that I haven't seen at a wedding. I've maybe like a huge event of some sort, but we were sitting at the table talking about what can we do entertainment-wise to mix it up a little bit. So I think you know what I'm talking about. Absolutely. I'm really excited for that.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. But just overall, just walking in and being able to see it for the first time, what you guys are going to put on, I'm super excited about.
Feeling it, experiencing it all. Yeah, that's so cool. And then what is one thing that you think in your wedding is really making it you?
The colors.
Yes. Yeah. I love that so much.
The best part is Micah's just like, yeah, I'm good with it. You know, it's his wedding too, so you know I want to make sure he likes it. But it's like if it's making me happy,
he's so happy.
He's like, yeah, I love it. So that's
really special. Well, you guys are going to see so much of her wedding. We have engagement photos
Yes.
coming soon, and then we'll be, just a few months away after the new year comes. So you guys are going to have to definitely stay tuned for lots of goodness from Hayley. You actually have a lot of really cool, interesting things on your social media. So if you could tell everyone where to follow you, that'd be great.
My @ is Hayley Rodgers _ and that's HayleyRogers.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Cool.